Thank you, Rajat, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, LexData,
Thank.
also. Yeah, just 1 minute. I'm just pulling it
Yeah,
down.
yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, myself, Gauri Waghmare. I'm the managing director of Gauri Legal Services, and today we are going to hear about pharma patents and public health and the legal pathways in post-pandemic world. So why this topic is very important, as we know that how the COVID-19 impacted our lives, right? So let's go back to the basics as we know how the patent system works. So actually, I want this discussion very effective, and I want a communication from your side as well. So as we all know how the patent system works, where they give the 20 years limited time period for the patent exploitation, where we are disclosing our technology and we are having the control over 20 years for the same. That is nothing but the patent system, and we can intensify the patent in that 20 years period. So the inventor is having monopoly for, okay, how the patent system work in the pandemic of pandemics, generally what happens and how the system works. So government generally do uh, different type of things such as compulsory licensings. Also, there are few international bodies, they help to balance and create the balance in the system, where they make that the patent rights need to be given to each and every individual in the case of pandemics. Before going to the further discussion, I want to make some icebreaker questions, and I want answers from your side. So, so how many of you think patents always help to improve access to medicines? The answer can be yes, no, or maybe. So anyone can unmute and tell how many of you like, or also you can text in the chat. Another question is, can intellectual property rights ever be a barrier to saving lives? You can think
Not
about
really. Not
COVID-19
really.
scenario. Did you know India has legally issued a compulsory license to make a cancer drug affordable, which is one of the first compulsory licensing case?
This is wonderful. This is wonderful.
Yeah. And who do you think should own an AI discovered drug? Is that the programmer or an AI company or no one or the public?
This is what is the question of this session, like, who owns the output? So
Yeah.
this medicine is also the treatment is also kind of output of any research. So research is based on a kind of AI platform. That's the question, and we're trying to find out the answer.
Yes. So that there is the gray area lies, right? So we don't know the answer exactly, because in Indian perspective, the answer may be different. In the foreign perspective or European, or there are so many countries, right? So they are having a different kind of rights, and we don't know what is exactly the answer. So let's see the another question. In a pandemic, should life-saving medicines be treated as a global public good? If your answer is yes, then why? And if your answer is not, then why not?
Yeah, of course it is yes, because this is for the mankind. So saving mankind is something which should be done voluntarily, whether we have a patent or not, whether we are using it in India, or we are using it in Europe, or in any other country. I mean, irrespective of that, it is saving mankind from a devastation. So it should be used. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. So let's see another thing, like go to the basic again. So understanding the IP rights in the pharmaceutical sector. Okay. So what is a patent in pharma? So it will definitely gives the 20 years the exclusive rights to make, use and sell that technology or any drug or anything which is patentable. Okay, it prevents others from manufacturing or selling the generic drugs during this period, right? Because if someone sells the generic, then definitely the infringement case will happen. And under TRIPS as well, there are some restrictions intended to reward innovations and encourage investment in the R&D. So these are the 3 points which can we say that yeah, patents in pharma, it is place in that domain, and it will open this to make, sale and use for the 20 years, right? Let's see another question. Should life-saving innovation funded by the public be patented and sold for profit?
Yeah, from the human angle, it is not. From the business angle, it is yes.
Okay. So what will happen when there is a pandemic situation and due to intellectual property, there may be a situation for crisis? In that case, let's see the case of COVID-19. So patent can create a barrier for technology transfer and generic productions, right? Also, delays in access affected lives in the global south. And the TRIPS waiver proposal, like which is given by India and South Africa jointly to sparkle the global debate on IP flexibility during the pandemic. And it has happened, and we have seen and we have gone through that. What happened at the COVID-19 and how we need to be prepared for such kind of disasters or crisis situation. Let's see what COVID-19 taught us about IP and public health. So there are so many inequalities, global inequalities, we can say, which are exposed during COVID-19. The vaccine treatments were deployed rapidly, there is no doubt. But as we know, high income countries secured more early doses and the low and middle income countries struggled for access. So vaccine hoarding versus global solidarity, it is one of another thing where concept of vaccine nationalism emerged, and COVAX aimed to distribute equitably, but fell short due to limited supply and IP barriers, and we have gone through that. What about the TRIPS waiver and debate? As India and South Africa proposed waiving the IP rights for COVID-19 tools, they sparked the global discussion on health versus IP protection. Also, they resulted in limited waiver in 2022, too little, too late for many actually. So that's why each and every person haven't got the vaccine on the proper time. So what about the public funding and private control? So many vaccines, such as Oxford, AstraZeneca, or Moderna, receive the public R&D support, but still the IP rights remain privately held and they are restricted affordable access, right? So it will serve as a double-edged sword. There are pros and cons. So this drive innovations, but and global investment also takes place a major part for the development. But what happens when that drug leads to very high prices, right? Um, in the pros, it encourages the pharma companies to develop novel treatments. Definitely, they will take the patent rights over the same because it is novel and the different, technically advanced. But what will happen if the delays generic availability due to patent, and especially in low and middle income countries? And it can also having a con, that is can limit access to essential medicines, right? So in case of HIV virus, in case of hepatitis C or cancer, they need to be affordable to make a real world impact. So because for that, developing countries need to enforce it properly, and also WHO need to support that. And there are so many organizations such as Medical Patent Pool. They are also doing a very great job for pooling the patents and license it. So um, the global IP rules don't always account for the public health emergencies, but they need to be changed in such scenarios. So in the case of COVID-19, once again, let's see what happened. So COVID-19 pandemic brought the global health system, pharma innovation, and legal framework under intense security. We know that it happened in a proper way, but a little bit like we cannot give the same thing to each and every individual. Why this topic matters? Because inequalities in the healthcare access, which is a big issue. Also, it will violate the Article 14 for the Constitution, equality before law in the Indian Constitution as well. So, each and every person in India as well as in the world need to get the healthcare in a proper way if there is a pandemic situation, because we have to see each and every person in an equal way. So there is an urgent need to rethink the legal pathways that balance the innovation and the public good. So that kind of thing need to be happened, and that can make a wake up call for all of us. If not only the COVID-19, there are so many kind of emergencies will going to happen in next to 20 to 25 years. So there is called as one disease X kind of thing, that maybe the next pandemic may happen because of that. The pathogen is we don't know what exactly will going to happen, but the preparedness is better solution for these kind of situations. And this is the race for vaccine development, but it may serve the inequality in vaccine and medicine access. And rich countries stockpile the doses while poor nations struggled. But in case of next pandemic, it should not happen. So for that, this one is a wake up call, and we need to think on it. Also, how the AI will help to make the new drug discoveries. So, in case of bioinformatics, through that, we can make so many things easy. Other technologies, other drugs we can make by using the computer integrated systems. Okay. But if that systems are like totally AI implemented, so in that case, in that scenario, the question is there, who will own the rights? So that is another thing. Let's see the TRIPS agreement in case of a global IP framework. So it is an acronym for trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. It is a WTO administered treaty which is setting the minimum IP standards for all member countries, and requires the patent protection for pharmaceuticals in all member states, or it limits the national flexibility to produce imported generics without permission. Okay, so what happened in the case of TRIPS waiver? So in revised TRIPS waiver proposal, which is submitted in May 2021, originally submitted by India and South Africa in October 2020, and the proposal called for the temporary waiver of certain TRIPS agreement provisions to allow countries to produce COVID-19 related health technologies, because there are few things which are restricting the making COVID-19 vaccine in a effective way. So without to solve that barrier or to stop the barriers in from the TRIPS, we have made that waiver proposal. Uh, the revised proposal is again submitted in 2021, and in 2021 it is accepted, and around over 20 countries are co-sponsored in that case. So it is not the issue for only India, it is also the issue for so many countries. What it focused on, especially it focused on the health products and technologies. So in the case of COVID-19, the COVID detection kits are there. Also, the formation of different kind of mRNAs. Okay, so vaccines and therapeutics or in diagnostics and related components or the methods of manufacturing, they are actually getting benefited. So these kind of things are really important in that scenario, and that's why the waiver will passed with the voting. So let's see the another organization in that how the patents get collected and voluntary licenses are made possible, and how the medical patent pool will work. So medical patent pool do so many things in that they have done one excellent job related to the HIV virus, sorry, HIV drug. So that is a dolutegravir. So DTG, we can say it as a DTG. And over 24 million people living with HIV are get benefited because of that thing. So DTG is supplied across the WHO regions by generic licenses, and they sublicense it to so many companies. It is the basically the patent from VII Healthcare Private Limited, and with the help of their technology only it is possible. So the credit is go to VII as well, VII Healthcare and Medical Patent Pool. So if any inventor want to go for a patent which they want to give it in a voluntary license, they can connect with the MPP and do the great job. So let's see what exactly the DTG for HIV treatment. So it is actually the antiretroviral drug, and it is used for treatment of HIV. And it is patented by VII Healthcare Private Limited. So what the medical patent pool did. So in 2014, VII Healthcare signed a voluntary license agreement with MPP, and MPP sublicensed the drug to multiple generic manufacturers. So definitely that case goes to MPP, and then after MPP will take everything out of it. Like MPP will take the charge of it, and then they have the sublicensing rights, and they sublicense it to multiple generic manufacturers. And definitely the production and distribution is allowed in 92 low and middle income countries, as they are having connections over there, as MPP is actually UN based, and UN will support the MPP. And it is very easier if we connect with MPP and then do our sub-licensing. So the generic versions become available at a fraction of the original prices. And what is the impact? So if any drug which is in a dropped prices, which is less than the $5 per month per patient, and definitely it is accessible to each and every patient, then which improved the viral suppression rates and the better outcomes. So then we can say that that is the main benefit of patent. Like only making a technology and getting a patent and commercializing it will not pays everything. When you create a real impact in the world, which is nothing but the social impact, then definitely we can say yes, the technology is utilized in 100%. So, and why it matters that without MPP's intervention, millions would have faced delays or denials in access due to high cost and patent restrictions. So, MPP plays a very good role in this case, and definitely for hepatitis C and tuberculosis and cancer as well. They will do so many things in that case. So, for us, what are the future takeaways? So shaping an equitable and innovative future for global health, which need to be prioritized and which need to be taken care of. So innovation is there, definitely it is there, but it need to be coexist with the access. So when the cycle will going to fulfill, when we're having a good innovations, and then we are having a impact due to that innovation. So we must rethink the pharma IP framework to serve both innovators and public good. So in a balanced way, we need to think about it. Definitely, there is R&D cost associated with it, but there is a rule of multiplication. When through MPP as well, if you get only 1 or 2% of royalty, but if you increase the beneficiary pool, definitely that multiplication will lead to the greater outcome. So we cannot say that by giving the voluntary licensing, we are not recovering our R&D cost. We can recover it, definitely, but we have to reach each and every person which need that drug or which need that technology. So the future innovation should be inclusive, ethical, and need driven. Also, there are legal tools such as compulsory licensings. Also, TRIPS is giving the flexibility. They are acting proactively. Expand initiatives like Medicine Patent Pool and so many organizations. They are doing this kind of things. So we need to avail the benefit from them. Also, the policy changes are also very important in case of national emergency or public health emergencies. There need to be flexibility, and we have to cooperate that by making the policy changes. So, how to embrace the emerging technology responsibility in case of AI? Okay, in AI and drug discovery. Here, the IP law must evolve to address ownership and access, as we don't know who owns it and uh, how each and every person assess the benefit out of it. So ownership, it is one of the gray thing which is not yet discovered in a proper way. We need to think on it. We need to evolve the laws against it, and definitely better reforms will come around it. And also the open source research models need to be encouraged, and public private partnership or also the like technologies need to be made in the academia and research institutes, and they need to be tied up with the big industries and pivot in that way. That is also one of the important thing we need to do it in the future. Definitely, there are so many academics and industrial research which are collaboratives and they are made. But in the case of AI, also we need to rethink on it. How it need to be integrated, how the ownership is need to be decided, and how the reforms need to be made around it. So equity is not optional and we need to think on it. It is very important thing. And justice in healthcare is not a charity, it's a legal, ethical, and humanitarian obligation. So the goal is not just survival, but dignified and affordable care for all. That need to be our goal. So my final words, the true taste of innovation is not in what we create, but in how many lives it can save. Yeah. Thank you guys. If you have any question, you can ask.